You ever notice how the moment you start making progress, real progress, that's when life seems to hit you the hardest. It's like everything was quiet when you weren't moving, but now that you're pushing forward, suddenly the noise is louder, the pressure is heavier, and the obstacles feel like they're multiplying. That's not coincidence. That's resistance. The reason it's getting tougher is because you're getting closer to your breakthrough. Resistance always increases as you near the finish line. Think about it when you start something new. At first it feels exciting, maybe even easy. You've got energy, you've got motivation, and you're running on that initial burst of drive that comes from simply beginning. But then as you keep going, the path doesn't stay smooth. The further you push, the more obstacles seem to appear, and the weight of what you're carrying starts to feel heavier. That's not because you're weak, that's because you're getting closer to the thing you've been chasing. And the closer you get, the more resistance you're going to face. It's like climbing a mountain. At the base, the air is thick, the climb feels manageable, and you're surrounded by plenty of company because a lot of people hang out at the bottom. But the higher you go, the thinner the air becomes, the terrain gets steeper, and fewer people are around. Every step takes more out of you, and your body starts to scream for relief, not because you're going the wrong way, but because you're reaching elevations most people will never see. And what's waiting for you at the top is the very thing you set out for. But the mountain doesn't let you climb without testing if you're serious. That's the same way life works. Resistance is always strongest near the threshold of reward. If you've ever watched someone break through in their career, in their relationships, in their health, you'll notice that right before the breakthrough, there's usually a season of hardship that makes no sense. The job gets harder right before the promotion. The discipline feels unbearable right before the transformation. The pressure intensifies right before the moment of relief. It's almost like life is asking, do you really want this? Are you really committed to crossing this finish line? And only those who keep pushing get to answer yes. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they interpret difficulty as a stop sign. They hit resistance and assume it's evidence they're not cut out for it. But resistance isn't evidence of weakness. It's evidence of progress. If you weren't moving, if you weren't gaining ground, there would be no resistance at all. Think about when you push against a heavy door. At first, it doesn't budge, and you think maybe it's locked. But if you lean harder, suddenly it creaks and moves a fraction. That fraction of movement proves that the door was never locked. It was just heavy, and your effort is the key. That's what life feels like right now. It feels like you're pressing against something that doesn't want to move. But the fact that it's hard is the very proof that it's possible. And here's the thing about breakthroughs. They don't announce themselves. You don't get a warning label telling you that tomorrow is the day it all changes. You don't wake up to a sign that says, keep going, you're 1 mile from the finish. No, you just have to trust that the grind, the struggle, and the exhaustion mean you're close, even when you can't see how close. That's why so many people stop one step too soon. They were inches away from seeing the result, but the weight felt unbearable, so they let go. What they didn't realize is that unbearable weight was the final test, and if they had pushed just a little longer, they would have broken through. Imagine a runner in a marathon. At mile 1, they're smiling, waving at the crowd, their legs feel strong, and their lungs feel full. But by mile 20, their body is screaming. Their chest is burning, their legs are heavy, and their mind is begging them to quit. That pain isn't there because they're weak. It's there because they're close to the finish. The body knows it's reaching its limit, and it resists. That's what you're going through right now. It feels tougher not because you're going backward, but because you're almost there. The mind loves comfort. It loves to stay where things are safe, predictable, and easy. But growth requires discomfort, and discomfort always shows up stronger the closer you get to meaningful change. That's why you're feeling the pull to quit. That's why everything feels heavier than before. The closer you get to breaking old habits, the stronger the temptation becomes to go back. The closer you get to building something new, the louder the doubts become telling you you're not capable. That's not coincidence, that's resistance, and it always spikes right before the moment of transformation. So, when you feel like everything is against you, when the work feels impossible, when your energy feels drained, that's the indicator you're not far. The difficulty is not the enemy, it's the evidence. It's proof that you're nearing the finish line. You're pushing through barriers most people turn away from. You're proving you can handle the weight, and that's exactly what makes you ready to step into the next level. Think about this. If success was easy, everyone would have it. If breakthroughs required no struggle, the word breakthrough wouldn't even exist. The reason it's valuable is because it costs something, and the closer you get to that value, the more it demands of you. It's not designed to destroy you. It's designed to shape you. That toughness you feel pressing against you is forging the character, the patience, and the endurance you'll need once you arrive at the place you've been working toward. So instead of asking, why is this so hard? Start telling yourself, it's this hard because I'm close. Instead of believing the lie that difficulty means stop, start believing the truth that difficulty means keep going. Your job right now isn't to find a way around resistance. It's to keep moving forward in spite of it. Because the fact that it's tough isn't the reason to quit. It's the reason to keep pressing. Difficulty isn't a sign to quit. It's proof you're on the right path. The pressure is preparation, not punishment. Every time you face something that feels overwhelming, your mind starts to whisper that maybe this is the universe telling you to stop, that maybe the struggle means you're not meant for this. But in reality, the struggle is the clearest indicator that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. If the road was easy, it wouldn't lead anywhere worth going. If it didn't challenge you, it wouldn't change you. The difficulty is not a wall meant to block you. It's a doorway meant to test if you're willing to walk through. When you pick up a weight at the gym, the first few reps might feel light, but as you keep going, your muscles start to burn and the resistance feels unbearable. That burning is not a signal to drop the weight and walk away. It's the very process that's making you stronger. Without that resistance, your muscles wouldn't grow. Without that struggle, there would be no progress. Life works the same way. The challenges you're facing are not punishments. They are the weights that are strengthening you for the next level of your journey. The problem is we've been trained to avoid discomfort. We look for shortcuts. We pray for ease. We convince ourselves that if it's truly meant for us, it should come without struggle. But that's not how growth works. The seed has to break before it becomes a tree. The caterpillar has to wrestle its way out of the cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. The diamond has to endure pressure before it can shine. Struggle is not an accident. It's part of the design. What you're going through is not meant to stop you. It's meant to prepare you. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has had to go through moments where it felt impossible. They didn't get there by running from the hard parts. They got there by pushing through them. The late nights, the failures, the doubts, the setbacks, those weren't punishments. They were preparations. They were the fire that burned away excuses, the resistance that built resilience, the challenges that proved they were capable of carrying what they were asking for. And if you're in that place right now, where things feel like they're pressing against you from every direction, it's not because you're failing, it's because you're being forged. Pressure doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to define you. Think of a piece of coal. On its own, it doesn't have much value. But under years of pressure, it transforms into a diamond. The pressure doesn't ruin it, the pressure reveals it. The same is true for you. The weight you're carrying right now is not crushing you, it's shaping you. It's revealing the strength you didn't know you had, the endurance you didn't believe you could develop, the patience you didn't think you possessed. The difficulty is not evidence that you're on the wrong path, it's the clearest proof you're headed in the right direction. When things get tough, your mind will try to convince you that maybe it's not worth it, that maybe you're wasting your time, that maybe the pain is unnecessary. But nothing meaningful has ever been achieved without pressure. Ask any athlete, ask any entrepreneur, ask any parent, ask anyone who has ever chased after something greater than themselves. The hardest moments were the ones that shaped them the most. They may not have liked it in the moment, but looking back, they realized those seasons of difficulty were the very seasons that equipped them for the blessing that came next. You can't ask for growth and run from struggle. You can't pray for strength and avoid resistance. You can't seek success and expect comfort. The two don't coexist. The very thing you're asking for requires pressure to prepare you for it. That's why the journey feels heavy right now. That's why you feel stretched, tested, and pushed to your limits. It's because you're being equipped. You're being prepared for the thing you've been working toward, and that preparation comes disguised as difficulty. Think of a student in school. When the teacher gives a test, it's not to punish the student, it's to prove what they've learned and prepare them for the next level. If the student fails, it doesn't mean they're worthless. It means they need more practice, more preparation. The test isn't there to shame them, it's there to strengthen them. Life works the same way. The challenges you face are not meant to punish you. They are meant to test you, refine you, and get you ready for the next stage. What you're going through may feel unfair, it may feel like too much, but remember that preparation always feels heavier than the event itself. A runner doesn't prepare by running short, easy distances. They prepare by running further and harder than the actual race demands, so that when race day comes, they're equipped to endure it. That's what life is doing to you right now. It's giving you more weight, more pressure, more resistance than feels comfortable, not to break you, but to make sure that when the moment arrives, you're ready. And yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels exhausting. Yes, it feels like you can't carry it anymore. But the pain is not wasted. The pressure is not pointless. Every sleepless night, every tear, every setback, every obstacle, it's building something in you that you're going to need later. One day, you'll look back at the very thing that almost made you quit and realize it was the thing that prepared you the most. The difficulty you're facing now is not evidence you should quit. It's evidence you're on the path that matters. So instead of seeing pressure as punishment, start seeing it as proof. Proof that you're being stretched into someone stronger. Proof that you're closer to what you've been working for. Proof that you're walking in the right direction. Pressure only shows up in places that hold potential. And the weight you feel right now is the exact weight that's equipping you for the breakthrough waiting on the other side. What do you think about this video? Tell me in the comments